What happens when survival becomes a mindset and you realize you were never meant to stay there? Today's conversation is about breaking free from struggle, redefining prosperity, and choosing impact over limitation. Are you guys ready to get into it? Let's go.
Here we go! Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, let's go!
And welcome to another episode of Prosperity Conversations. I am your host, the Nicole Johnson, and today's guest embodies what it means to shift from survival to intention. Now, you all know I love coming up out of survival mode, so this is going to be a fantastic conversation. Aren't they all? Okay, so joining me today is Renee, founder of Freedom Heirs. Renee believes prosperity is not just about money. It's a lifestyle. Okay, Renee, it's a lifestyle rooted in impact, mindset, and the legacy that you choose to create. Come on, Renee. I cannot wait to bring her to the stage. Renee, I want to welcome you to Prosperity Conversations, and you guys go ahead and clap it up for a clap, 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 clap. Hey, Renee.
Hello, hello. This
Hey,
is
how
the
are you,
Nicole
dear?
Johnson.
That's it. Yes, yes. I tell them all the time. Put some respect on my name.
I know that's right, Queen.
How you doing, ma'am?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. And listen, alignment is so important to me. And as you said in your information that you provided, which was the content and the foundation of your introduction, it's about a choice. It is definitely about a choice. So listen, before I start rambling on and getting on my soapbox, I'm going to go right ahead and jump into today's question and ask you, what does prosperity mean to you?
Prosperity, it's easy for someone to say, I have so much prosperity in my life, and they are only referring to the money that they have in their bank account. It would be very easy for me to say that, but it's not necessarily an easy answer. But it is a part of how you see life, how you decide to see the circumstances that come into your life, how you are affecting not only your life, but somebody else's. I truly believe that the biggest sign of prosperity is the people that are in our lives. How are we shaping themselves? Are the people that are around you, are they smiling? Or are they happy to see you leave? So that they can truly be have more prosperity. Some people will be happy to see you leave. Other people will be like, no, don't go, because I want to hold on to that.
Right. I
How is the way
love
you're living your life? Me, I have so much prosperity in my life because I choose to see it that way.
absolutely. I love that. Prosperity is a choice. So Renee, tell the audience a little bit about you and when did the definition of prosperity take a turning point for you in your life?
Prosperity took a turning point when I saw that I was struggling. I was in a struggle mindset for years. I am a product of a single parent home. My mother worked, went to college, and I saw her graduate with her bachelor's degree, and then I saw her get her master's degree, and I was like, but for years we struggled. And it was very hard. And then that became my identity because I started to struggle when I got on my own. And I was like, there's got to be something more than this to just struggle. I watched my mother do it. And I was like, why do I have to continue with that life? I don't want to continue with that. And so it wasn't until, believe me, this is not an overnight process. It took years to break free from that. And I still have to check myself when I'm like, what if you don't have enough, Renee? What if this happens? It's gonna be fine. If it happens, I already have in my mind, okay, all right, this is what I'm gonna choose to do here. We can't necessarily stop things from coming into our lives, but we can change how we look at things. There is a sign in my house that says 90% of things, oh my goodness. Now I'm
That's
gonna
okay. 90% of things that happen to you, where
come on.
10% are the way you react to them.
There we go. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I
Thank you.
listen.
And
You are speaking my language. We are kindred sisters. And again, when I extended the call for speakers to apply and have these conversations, I didn't know who would answer. So alignment was what I prayed for, because I am a product of a single parent home for extended, for a limited amount of time, and then a bad relationship. And it was never one of where somebody actually sat me down and said, this is how you manage money. So I grew up in what I labeled as, and it's kind of, seen at the other places as financial trauma, because that foundation is what I went when I went out on my own. It was my mindset as well, right? It was my mindset, and it sounds like it was yours, and it was the struggle bus. We knew we had mastered the art of making sure that we struggle,
yes,
believe it or not, right? So
yes,
we knew how to make do what with what we had in the struggle. Somebody, one of Tyler Perry movies, one of the characters said, black women are always talking about we just do what we got to do. That is her mantra. Well, when do we have to stop with that struggle mindset? When are we always doing what we have to do? When is it that we can start waking up and everything is okay financially, emotionally, spiritually? When are all those things doing? Well, when we put ourselves in that position.
exactly.
When we put ourselves in that position, and it starts in your mindset, in our mindset. And so one of the goals with the prosperity conversations is to help people see things differently, right? So I heard you say you were the product. You grew up watching your mom struggle, but then she went on and got her bachelor's degree, her master's degree. Listen, that's my kindred sister too, Hunty, because we keep going back to school to get more degrees, and for some, that's an excellent thing. But for some, is to prove to ourselves that we are worthy. I
Hmm.
want to say, without those degrees, honey, we are all worthy too.
That's right.
Okay, we are all worthy too. So now that we understand where that, and this is part of the process of examining our past, right? But let me ask you this: where does how once you started to see that you needed to do something differently, right? What was the process of you actually making that shift?
You remember how I mentioned that nothing is an overnight success?
Liz, I know that well. Keep going.
And I took on that struggle mindset from my 20s and into my 30s. And then Renee finally got hit. And I was in a course, and the gentleman said, you're not just here to pay bills and die.
Oh, he took the words right out of my mouth, but go
He
ahead.
he took it there, and I said, "Ooh," I said, I played it safe. I went to school. I got the degree. There's nothing wrong with that,
Right,
and I don't feel bad for getting it.
right,
But I checked all of the boxes. But there still was a part that was starving, and it wasn't the things that were on the list that were checked off.
Mm-hmm.
So at about 33, 33, 34 years old, I said, I want more out of my life than just these boxes. But that also meant that Renee had to turn her back on the very foundation of what I was taught to do. I am the daughter of baby boomers. Both of my parents are baby boomers. They worked hard. You work that job until you are 65 and you are able to retire, and that's it.
Go to school, get a good education, get a
Yep.
good job, retire, and hope
Yep.
for the best.
That's right.
But Renee,
And
let me
I
ask
was
you a
on
question.
that path.
Yes, let me ask you a question.
Hmm.
Did your parents sit you down at the table and tell you this, or was it something you observed in their behavior?
And it was never a sit down talk. It was just what I saw.
Yeah.
And what I saw, I said, that's what I'm gonna do. And then I took it and ran with it. But at 33, I said, you got to do something else, Renee.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
when I started searching. What is my life? What is my purpose? What is it that I'm supposed to do? Because I'm not just supposed to pay bills and die. And then what am I leaving behind for the next generation? I still don't have children yet, but guess what? I've got cousins. I've got cousins on top of cousins, and I'm like, what kind of life am I gonna leave for them? What about that? Did you think about that, Renee? And that started the process of me just being like, okay, you gotta find what you are called to do. And if that means that you have to make some choices that maybe your family's not going to agree with, then so be it. And that's when it started. It was right there. And then here I am today being like, my life is not perfect. However, when I wake up in the morning, I know what I'm called to do. I know what I've been put on this earth to do. And the finances come because I'm in my right place. And I'm like, people meet me and they're like, oh. And they're like, Renee, it's like a breath of fresh air because I'm in my purpose. And I'm like, so I thank God. Whew, excuse me. I do. I thank God because
You better. You better.
I got cut that day when he said you're not just supposed to pay bills and die. I got cut that day,
That's
but
it.
I got healed.
That's it. That's it. That's it. And then that's a beautiful thing. The transformation that we go through, in order to get a true transformation, we have to lay it all on the line. Right? We
Yes.
really have to start to look at, no more am I going to keep doing it this way because I'm just the way I listen. My grandmother taught me certain things. Nikki, when you cook, she never sat down and said, Nikki, when you cook, you do this, this, and this. No, she said, hand me that nutmeg, hand me that cinnamon, hand me that
Mhm.
sugar. I can't count them crystals. So all I do is you do it to taste, right? And her taste buds happen to be mine. And so when I follow what I saw her do, right? Now the little things, okay, Nikki, when you crack an egg, when you're using more than one egg, you never crack your egg into what you're cooking. You put it in a bowl, crack it in a bowl first, one by one, to make sure each egg is good. Because if you put it all in there and that egg spread, that means it's something bad. You finna throw your whole thing away and throw. That's what she taught me. Part of it was visual learning. Some of it was instructional,
Exactly.
right? So when we talk about finances and how to manage the household, if your parents didn't sit you down, you just remember, well, mama did this, daddy did this, mama did this, daddy, and then that's what you repeat.
Exactly.
Okay. And then we hit that brick wall in life that we're all going to run into. And then you got to start analyzing because what our parents did or did not do can only be a crutch for so long,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
At some point in time, Renee is responsible for Renee. And those old habits and decisions, you get to choose whether you continue with them or whether you do something else. So being where you were, you got gut punched, right? He hit you hard with that. God didn't create us to just pay bills and die, okay? Because now God said it in a way. He said, "We shall not live in lack." That's what He said. But see, that didn't resonate with Renee. So somebody had to say where it was. It was like that.
Woo.
He had to get. And sometimes we so hard here that we need that. But He gave it to you. And then you started looking, you started searching, you started researching. But let me tell you, Renee, there are some people that even after they get that punch, they still don't move, right? So I'm going to ask you because everybody's built differently. So we may have a
Mhm.
listener who's watching, listening, and going, I heard what you said, but it still hasn't been that that I need. So what do you think you could say to them, him or her, that would make them move out of that stuck and overwhelmed place?
I'm going to say this. What are you, if you have children, if you have nieces and nephews and all that, what kind of example do you think that you're going to be leaving behind for them by what you're doing? What kind of reality are they going to have? You may not have kids, but you got some kid that is looking at you. You got some there is a child around. It could even be your neighbor's kid. They're still looking. And what are you doing? Are you creating are you creating a life or a are you creating a life that they are going to thank you for, or are people just going to be like, oh, well, she didn't have any money, so we all have to do a GoFundMe because she's not leaving anything behind. What are people going to be leaving behind for you? And we're all getting to I say, I mean, I'm not old, but I'm not as young as I used to be. However, my mom made she left this world in a certain way for me. How am I going to leave this world? I had to leave this world differently. This world needs to be better because I was in it. Or will this world continue? Will it be worse because you're not doing anything?
I agree.
It's your
So
choice,
I
though.
believe we're all born with or sometimes develop a gift. God gives us each our own individual gift and talent. And it's up to us to put that talent out in the world. And like Whitney said in Waiting to Exhale, I'm not some 27-year-old girl who got the rest of my life in front of me, okay? Listen, I'm on the other side of 50. And ain't none of y'all business how far on the other side. Just know I said I'm on the other side. Pay attention and focus, Cletus. Okay? I need y'all to focus. Okay? But
Hey,
even if it's not, I'll go so far as to say, how are you making, because what you're talking about is legacy. What legacy are you leaving? And it's not just for the children. Renee could be impacting her neighbor to the left or the right of her or across the street. There might be someone in the office that you work in that your presence makes a difference for them. You could be that change maker, right? I worked at a tax place years ago and I was seasoned. I wasn't older, I was seasoned. than some of the other young ladies that were in the room. I already had two children. I had a husband. And I would walk in because that's the way my mother and grandmother raised. Good morning. I didn't stand and wait to see if somebody said good morning back. But one young lady pulled me to the side. She said, I love when you come in the room. She said, I absolutely love you. You brighten up the room. Nobody else in here says good morning when you walk in. And I live alone. I don't have anybody to say good morning to or that says good morning to me. So I know I'm gonna get it when I see you on the schedule. And but a friend of mine who worked in the back, she was fussed. Why you say good morning? Half these heifers don't even speak back because it's at least one that does, and that does something for her. So if I made that impact on at least one person, I've done what he told it, go forth and make disciples. Okay. I've done that part. So Renee, let me ask you this. You are the founder. Tell us about your business. Tell us what you're doing to help others so that they don't stay in the stuck environment when you own and operate Freedom Airs.
Well, I am a an SEO blog writer, and so for all of my coaches, all of my therapists, there, yes, there's my link, so you can follow me, you can talk to me. Um, but one thing that I do, and I use my words very carefully because you have a business, you have people that are going to be looking at you, and so they are looking to find you. And so I know what words to say in order to make sure that you are on the front page of Google when people put in those keywords that they think of the Nicole Johnson,
Come
that
on
they
now.
think
Come
of
on. Put all the
you,
respect
whoever.
on that.
That's right. And people need to they think of you. And so I put in those necessary words. However, what I do is by putting in those words, your business is not going to be the same. There has to be a transformation that comes along. And when you have someone that is great with words and also what you're doing in your purpose plus words, legacy. So I'm looking to help you to make your legacy even bigger. So um, I love words. I love words. They can either build people up, they can tear people down, but I choose to use them to uplift. So um, I absolutely love that. That's been something that I wanted, that I always thought I was going to do when I was a kid, but then I said, no, I need to check the boxes, I guess mentally. And then once I stopped checking boxes, I realized there's been something in me all along that was there that I just was like, I put that to the side and I'll do that when I'm like, 50, 60 or whatever in there. But I did. That's exactly what I said. I was like, I'm gonna do it after I retire. I'm gonna write a book. Well, my 30s came in and I said, you're gonna do something with this right now. That's what you're gonna
That's right. No better
do.
time
So
than the present.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And that's my testimony. That's what I'm supposed to leave on this earth, is even when I'm gone, my words won't leave.
They say they
So
don't remember what you said to a person. They remember how you made them feel. And
that's
an amazing testimony, because when you treat someone different and you build them up, that allows them to start building others. So it's just really the art of multiplication. So I love that. And again, alignment with this process and this platform has been extremely important to me. And I'm glad that you answered the call. So I want to give you an opportunity to say something to our audience that you haven't discussed already, to let them know that what prosperity is and how they should view prosperity to make things, give a better outlook in life.
watch. I want you to When you decide that you are going to do better for yourself, that you're no longer going to struggle, make sure that you are watching the people that are in your life. I have a prosperity mindset, and guess what? The people that are in my life have that mindset as well. So I discuss ideas. I discuss, like, okay, we're gonna do this, blah blah blah. And I don't have anybody that is trying to be like, Renee, you don't need to do that. You are the product of a single parent. You need to think rationally. I don't have people in my life that tell me that. So that's the biggest thing. Who is
Mm.
in your life? There are going to be people that are not going to understand the things that you're going to do. Is that really your problem? I have decided to do something different than anyone in my family. I have family that is content with what they're doing, and that's fine for them. But for me, it's not. So watch the people that you are around. If people are not clapping for you when you are winning, or if you have an idea and they're quick to dismiss or say, how you gonna get the money for that? Or how are you gonna, and they're not even trying to share or support, it's time to say bye-bye. I tell people bye-bye, bye-bye.
Ooh.
Prosperity is a mindset.
Yes,
People are
yes.
not trying to cultivate that mindset within you, then they don't need to be there. That's probably the biggest lesson that you can learn is who is directly. Some people are drilling holes into your boat and you're wondering why you're sinking.
Oh, Renee, wait a
You're,
minute. Wait a minute now.
you're,
Listen. Yeah,
you're
and I,
wondering. Or
I,
there are people that are setting up traps for you and you wonder why you're not feeling so well.
yes,
Because you're being poisoned by
yeah,
people who
yes,
don't want you to win.
yes,
So I
yes.
hope that you continue to win no matter if people are rooting for you. I'm rooting for you because I want you to win. This Miss D. Nicole Johnson is rooting for you. We want you to win. But if people do not want you to win, then walk away and stay away and you keep prospering because the people that are called to help you to grow, they're coming. You just have to get rid of all the fakes. I love you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's the thing that I say is that I don't invite everybody to pray for me because I don't know what you're praying and I don't know who you're praying to. So
That's
yeah,
it.
I love that concept. Just be careful who you let into your circle because you can have very different circles. You can have the associate circle. You can have the hey, how you doing circle. You know what I mean? But that inner circle that you discuss your ideas and your goals, that has to be a very tight knit circle because you always want to have someone that's going to encourage you, support you, motivate you, be that cheerleader section when you need it. All of the things that you just said, and I love that. And I just want to thank you, Renee, for being here to share your story. This platform is designed to be supportive, to expose our truths, right? Expose our truths because what you share can be the thing, the words as you love that'll help somebody to not topple into that pit stop or that manhole that they did not see coming. So thank you so much for sharing. And
Thank
to
you.
everyone watching, prosperity is not just about money. I say that again and again and again and again. It is about your mindset, which impacts your impact for the people around you and choosing a future that aligns with who you're becoming. It all starts with your prosperity mindset. This has been another episode of Prosperity Conversations. And as I always say, it's prosperity is not something that you chase, it's something that you choose. I am the Nicole Johnson. Until next time. Thanks, Renee.
Thank you.